Yeah, my spine is completely shattered in half, and I'm flipped around. My legs are one direction, my body's the other direction. There goes Carrie.
Yeah. Let's see, which intro am I going to play today? Because I have no idea. And then Laz is going to sit there and say, hey, you started it at the wrong time. And I'll be like, well, not my fault.
You're sure today.
I know. It's all good. It's all good.
What's up, people?
Laz
Morning,
is on the
Mark.
soundboard.
Well, Laz, your fucking food works during combat now, and it's fucking awesome. So, congratulations.
Fucking breaking shit. That's what he's doing.
Lobby. You bust your balls enough on the right topics. Working as fucking...
I mean, it may be overpowered, but it's fucking awesome. I can last in combat much longer now. I don't run out of focus like I used to.
You last over 4 hours.
I thought you were being sarcastic because you were defending that song. What?
No, it's great having it.
Okay, let's see.
30 seconds.
30 seconds to who? For who? Don't know what you're talking about.
That's when the news is changed.
Are you sure?
Hey, I'm just telling you what I see over here.
Okay. See, that's the fun part. You actually have you can look at the duration on things. I just have to guesstimate without looking.
Oh, are you guys not in the Zoom today?
No, not in Zoom. Just because I'm the only one streaming today. You ready for this?
Hey, how's your teeth, Laz?
Hey, quiet on the set.
Hate it. Jeez.
Excuse me. Excuse me. You're listening to WRFB, Radio Free Britannia. Ain't no other freaking better place in the world than Deltona, Florida. Here you are, lunch with no other than the dynamic duo of Laz and Jack.
And greetings, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Lunch with Laz and Jack. Laz is going to be intermittent today. He may be here, he may not be here. It all depends on how he's feeling. I mean, he is high as a kite right now. He is in the stratosphere doing
Happy
something.
pills.
Happy pills. Are you feeling any pain? Yeah, he'll be doing that too. So don't forget, I am Jack. Today is the 26th release day for Release 38 in Shroud of the Avatar. It's Thursday, according to Laz.
Release day.
Yes, and we do have a special guest host today. That's going to be Thex. Or
Whose spine is broken on his chair.
It is not broken. I mean, I zoomed in nice and close. You can see that twist. I don't know how flexible you are, but I'm sure that you can do all kinds of weird things to yourself before, after, and during the show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
These bagpipes. Oh, my.
Carrie's also playing around with it as well. She's trying to pop her back on screen. So since
By
today...
the way,
yeah.
Gix Vargix has joined us, and he's seeing what we're seeing, and he says he does not like it, and he knows what's happening.
That's no fun. No fun. No fun. No fun. So he also did say that there's a new programming system used when avatars sit down. And so he is pointing out that, oh, thanks for pointing this out. You just fucking made me do work.
Yep.
And it's like, you dirty bastards. Yeah.
It's what we do. That's what we're
I
here
know.
for.
We interpret the news so you don't have to. That's right. So
Get to work, Gixie.
The real question is, Laz, how's that radio working? Is it working?
You guys sound good.
Okay, sweet.
Timing sucks. Sound good.
I decided to play the loot, and I am taking the Jim Morrison approach to playing live in front of an audience. I cannot face them.
No, that's very James Maynard of Tool of you.
Yes.
Except you would have to be naked.
Yeah, I probably would. So
wow, there's some definitely visual bugs going on here.
Well, I mean, new system with players sitting, that is not part of their actual test in game. So let me go ahead. I will do the standing up way for today, just so that way we don't have to.
Doesn't look quite so disturbing.
Yeah, doesn't look quite so disturbing. And the weird thing is that when you're not playing, you kind of put the instrument away for a second. So I'm waiting for the loot swing around the body as the next animation to come out. Because
to put it up your butt.
Well, maybe that too. I mean, can I sit on the loot and will it make me happy?
Mm-hmm. I like how you can play it one-handed. That's awesome.
Well, it's what happens when you have a scepter in your hand. Everything becomes a lot more interesting when you're holding a scepter.
That's right.
Sweet.
I mean, when you're holding the scepter, it's the most important thing around. And
do you like my
who is
my
playing
baby clockwork
where?
dragon?
Oh, Laz is playing all the way over there, so that way no one can hear him because he's on the wrong piano.
Oh, I see him behind me.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm looking right at him.
Yeah. Oh, yes, that piano would work perfectly, Laz, if you're going to play music. So, you ready for release 38 notes and what all's new additions to the game? So don't forget, today is release day for release 38, which means that there will be a ton of bugs. So as soon as you see something, go check the bug forums. If it hasn't been documented already, go ahead and make the devs
you mean
work.
like my baby marshmallow dragon? Would that be one?
Yes, it is not skinned currently. It is skinless. You have a skinless dragon. I mean, I prefer my chicken to be skinless and boneless when I get it. So they're preparing it for sale.
For you.
You know, Jack, the bone is where all the flavor is.
Oh, it is?
Oh, Cidery has said don't choke the chicken.
Okay. So release 38 notes. They made a huge strides forward on multiple scenes throughout the game, including the rebuilds of Brookside, Xenos, Vauban Pass, Solania, and multiple perennial coast scenes. They have also added the new Canyon Siege scene to the Town Siege rotation, and added the new PvP scene of Blood Bay. And don't forget, the Blood Bay will actually have player housing in a later release. Just it's not being pushed out right now, so that is something that is going to be on the plate.
And you were saying that the entrance to Blood Bay is just north of Central Brittany?
Yeah, there's two entrances. You can either go all the way through Vauban Pass up to Graff Island and take a boat from there, or if you really pay attention, north of Brittany, you'll have to run around and take a bridge over. There is also a boat that goes to Blood Bay as well. So, and that will probably be updated on Soda Map in the near future.
Awesome. I'm excited to check it out.
Yeah. I can take a seat again. Yay. Then, let's see, they've also begun polishing the Courage path, which means reintroducing everything to that, which means that we're going to be seeing Lord British doing Courage for the next month and a half. A year. Yeah, they did a massive cleanup pass in almost every scene in the game to fix bugs. And then to help better tell the story in all those scenes, they rebuilt the NPC conversation interface, which means that hopefully we will see my favorite NPC start walking around as soon as dawn starts occurring in game, to turn off the lights and we can go talk to Jack the Lamplighter and ask him questions about how many Jack the Lamplighters there is, just so we can demonstrate the new conversation interface.
Was I correct in my assumption yesterday that this conversation interface is not global yet in the entire game? It's just specific NPCs?
You know what? Jack the Lamplighter would be an excellent test of that because he's pretty much a useless NPC. So, they've also changed the way that keys and locks work in order to introduce the concept of breakable keys. They also began adding traps to existing scenes, including fire traps, arrow traps, pressure plates in order to do things. So we've got lots of information. And wait, Justin's going to tell me that the radio sounds good. Breaking news. I took over the radio and I didn't break things. Yesterday, on the other hand, we won't discuss.
I don't hear anyone's mic cutting in and out. It's kind of nice.
Ooh. Low blow. Low blow. The guy is completely drugged up today, so
that's why I said it. He won't be able to remember it.
So. He can't defend himself, and he won't remember in about 15 minutes. So
and our plan is to keep Laz permanently drugged up in this state, so we can take
So we can take advantage of him, especially when he removes something from his mouth.
Yeah,
take this stench.
Yeah, so the scaling of crafting and new recipes are also going in. So equipment improvements gained from enchanting and masterworking now scale with your skill level as well as the number of previous improvements. So now it's going to be imperative that you find someone that has masterwork enchanting. And if you notice under the alchemy tree, there is now not just enchantment, there is weapon enchantment and armor enchantment. Did y'all notice that?
Yes, sir. That's awesome. Specialization, baby.
A little bit of specialization, and remember, it's going to take... It is very, very, very painful. I'm still waiting for my favorite... Thex's actually favorite skill to actually get some skill tree. Agriculture.
Please.
Yeah, so... And it helps if I actually display that on out there. They have also increased the number of rewards gained in exchange for the risk taken and provides better incentives for specialization and crafting. They've also added over 20 new recipes, mostly new combat potions. So they went with the lesser, greater, and maximum healing potions.
Maximum healing.
Maximum effort. I think they were watching Deadpool with the maximum effort.
Yeah. Fatality. Maximum healing.
Yes. If you are one of those lucky few that actually does have bone armor, that has been significantly improved, as well as the obsidian gear. So, rare loot.
If anybody has an extra dragon neck laying around, give it to Thexor Marco.
Yes.
Just putting it out there.
And if you were playing around on the QA, you heard about some of this rare loot, especially when the loot tables got messed up and everything was dropping the high-level loot. There are 17 new combat potions and magical artifacts. Potions include stronger health and focus potions, potions that speed regeneration rates, and potions that grant increased stats.
So those magical artifacts, I know we're going to touch on those later, but are they unique, meaning there's only one in the game, or are there multiple copies of these?
There's got to be multiple copies. Can you imagine a single unique item that was
awesome?
That would be something that someone in single-player online mode gets, and no one ever hears about it.
That's true.
So they've got to go with multiple copies. They just have to make it a very low drop rate.
Rare drop, yep.
Yeah. And then we can skip everything else. So, further ado, the Path of Love got some final polish passes, including the propagation of the Asian influence assets, as they created 4 Ardors, and they spread it across the perennial coast. They have redone Brookside, and if you were...
Brookside?
I went out there on the QA server, and I must say that the screenshots that's provided down below, which is the third screenshot, whenever I was there, the fog was significantly higher. So they must.
Looks like a cool town. They have housing there, correct?
Yes, that is Brookside is a player-run town.
Okay.
So there is a lot of influence. Perennial Coast getting revamped as well with the Asian influence. Brookside getting it's been overrun by zombies, so it must have fog enabled. But at the same time, you have to remember you're not going to be fighting NPCs inside of there, so just very, very foggy and a little bit spooky. The High Vale also received some polish for the Path of Courage. They began a little bit of the Courage Path polish. Vauban Pass was also made unique.
Nice.
Yeah, Xenos. I mean, we've seen lots and lots of screenshots from Xenos before it was finally released, especially with the Greco-Roman architecture influences.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that because Xenos is one of those towns where you kind of walked into it in the beginning and you're like, I can kind of see what they're going for here, but with the aquifer and all that stuff. But I think they'll probably really tie it together with this one.
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be absolutely beautiful whenever you go out now compared to before. Blood Bay PvP scene. The best thing about Blood Bay is really just floating around on the boat over the island in the big circle.
Yeah, that looks sweet. And if you can push people off the boat, even better.
Oh yeah, we definitely have to test that with Gust.
Yeah, we'll get Laz up there and we'll blow him off.
We just have to make sure that we loot his corpse and take his head so that we can collect that bounty that's on his head.
You're gonna blow Laz off?
Yeah, we're gonna blow Laz off.
We're gonna blow Laz off.
Icky!
Canyon Siege came out where, don't forget, so the different sieges that are based on the celestial mechanics, that's where we really actually have to do a shout out to the guy that's really going to be going through and making sure that everybody knows when and where to expect the sieges, and that's Bowen Bloodgood, with where he's been doing everything related to the celestial mechanics in game. So he's actually.
Is there some place that we can see where sieges are going on? Because I got a lot of questions in Noble Chat and other chats saying, "Where's the siege? Where's the siege?"
Well, I think there's going to be some randomization to the sieges. Essentially, it's only going to be the towns that have the banner over them currently. And it's one where that's because each town is related to one virtue or another. And so that's where I think the little degree of randomness comes in, to where it's whenever it's the Courage Path, it's not always going to be Janiford that's under siege. It might be Resolute that's under siege.
Right.
And so it will be rotating, but so you will get the experience. You will be able to figure out, okay, these are the towns that are possibly under siege today.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it might be cool for someone in the forum or some places to keep an active thread going of where the current sieges are today.
Yeah, and that information is actually you would have to look at for the New Britannia Astronomy thread by Bowen Bloodgood.
Sweet.
Yes. Then going back to release notes, we also have control points. So the mages and control points now have spells that manipulate player position, much like the demon. So I guess that means that they can teleport you to different places. I don't know what the point of that is.
Yeah, I don't get that.
What I would like to see is the mages using different schools of magic. So some of them would be fire, some of them would be ice, some of them would be earth. And then
totally, which would make the resistance and the ward gems worth a lot more.
And it's one where it's like, if you're going to be fighting the elves, they're going to be more
earth attuned,
earth and life magic. So it becomes one where they start healing each other. And that would really screw things up, right?
Oh, totally.
Yeah, and then from there, like the kobolds are going to be a lot of air, just because they like playing around with electricity. things like that. So
skeletons, death,
yeah. And skeletons should also be susceptible to fire, but we won't talk about that.
They are, aren't they?
Not as much as they should be.
Oh, I burned those suckers down, man.
The other thing about the control points, huge change, is that there is now a small percentage chance of a boss level NPC showing up.
Love it.
And so each control point is going to have a different boss that's associated with it. Arachnairn Deathbringer is going to be a massive spider. Lurk is a huge kobold scout. Skelrin Nair is an ancient lord. Namron Hathcock.
Do you have the cock? Never mind.
Wait a second.
Hathcock. Namron Hathcock. An elite member of the Ebendar Archers, who is also very deadly with a bow.
So, Nimrod Hathcock. Cool, alright.
Namron Hathcock. He doth hath the cock.
You know, that was my nickname in high school.
What, Hathcock?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so, Merc.
Yeah. So there are also going to be some non-hostile overworld encounters where, like the deer, that would attack you beforehand, now they are just going to be green, and you would actually have to go up and hit E to them.
So that provides you an opportunity, I guess, if you want to farm some sheep and get some mutton and stuff. That's kind of the idea for the non-aggressive.
Non-aggressive sheep.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
The Wandering Merchant still is not yet in the game as far as that roving encounter, but that should be in there eventually. Eerie Lighthouse is now fully decorated. Deep Ravenswood, they changed the spawn locations of some things. They also added a boss level spider, and I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
Deep Ravenswood.
I need to do a run through there and see how much they nerf the XP gain.
Yeah, I need to be in that.
I need what happened.
I need to be in that party with you and within 40 feet.
Yeah, no problem. I'll just set you up on the rock and I'll just blast pharaohs.
Oh, absolutely. Out in Brittany Castle, they have various parts of the castle and grounds were not in alignment, but that's been corrected. So now you can run straight through the damn thing.
I haven't been inside that castle since way back when.
I haven't been in it in 2 months, 3 months. They also fixed some sky bugs. Bugs. Seeing bug fixes, you've got a nice long list where they fixed stuck spots, floating assets, missing sound effects, bad NPC patrols, missing labels, inaccessible ore nodes, missing collision, missing misplaced resonks, falling through the world, etc. And so that is a long list of scenes that they touched up. I mean, this is something really funny. So come down to the corner real quick. Well, actually, I'm the one that really needs to come down here. I mean, they fixed things that were hovering in the world until you realize that the lamppost at the corner of my lot is 3 feet or 2.5 feet floating in the...
Oh, it's on the actual street.
Yeah, it's on the actual street, but it's... Unless you walk up to it and pay attention, that's when you realize, hey, this is a hovering signpost. So, yes.
Yeah, we'll get that fixed.
Yeah, no one ever pays attention to that. But remember, this is Owl's Head, so this hasn't been touched in a year or so. 2 years almost, and eventually they'll get back to it and upgrade it to the Unity 5 assets and everything else. Yeah, it's still Unity 4 for Owl's Head. Traps and locks. So they are going to greatly enhance the interactivity of the dungeons and other play spaces with more traps, including flame jets, pressure plates, and arrow shooters. And
all good.
Do you look forward to traps?
I do. because it's always good to have some extra things to pay attention to in dungeons. I'm a fan of the old school Baldur's Gate type of games where you can do trap detection and disarming and stuff like that, so I'm thrilled with traps.
Yeah, and I'm ecstatic. I would love to see them actually introduce some randomization to the traps.
Yeah, so you can't just memorize it.
So you don't just memorize it. There's going to be 4, 5, 6 different alternatives, or like 4, 5, 6 different traps in different dungeons, but it can spawn in one of 18 locations.
Yeah,
and then
it would also be cool to see that hopefully the damage output is high enough to where they're meaningful. Because that's one of the things that it's definitely when you mess up and all of a sudden you walk on a pressure plate and all of a sudden you're dead. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is going to make it a lot more entertaining. And especially as they refactor the lock keys door system.
Yeah, imagine having Gustin is pushing Laz onto a pressure plate that he's not expecting.
Yeah, the traps and puzzles also allows them to do. Eventually, they may be able to do the rotate the tile to allow the energy path through. Those kinds of things. So you end up with a lot more interaction in the dungeons and everything else. Even though at some point in time, someone's going to memorize every single location.
Right. What's really cool about this release overall, I think, is there's so much stuff to explore now. Just this release alone is like a whole new game that it's going to take weeks to go through and check all this stuff out.
Oh yeah, it's also dev time and things like that. So as we go further along into the development and they've had time to actually go back and retouch things, they can always add that later on. It doesn't have to be done initially at release. It's something that during the ongoing development process they can say, you know what, we just made this a lot more challenging. Yay, have fun.
Yay, yep, I love it.
Yes. Then moving platforms. I encourage everyone to go out to Blood Bay. Remember, it is a PvP scene. Go to the north end of the island.
Proper PvP-ness.
Find the path up. And then from there, don't forget the platform for the airship is really close. You only have to walk past one air elemental.
So do you essentially teleport onto the ship then?
No, you walk on.
Oh, so you can board it.
Yeah, so it's a platform that's sticking out. The airship just passes right by it, and it just keeps on moving. And so the only reason that I died multiple times trying to jump on the ship was because I was trying to actually jump onto a specific part of the ship.
I'm super excited for the moving platforms. I think that's going to really open up a lot of different possibilities for boats and all kinds of other things.
Well, not just boats, but even so, if you think about like our skyboxes and the floating rocks, the obsidian shards. That are floating, that becomes a new platformer kind of thing. So, especially if those rotate around and they can actually create those paths. So,
and how cool would it be too, if just for fast travel, being able to get on an airship in one town and sit there and hang out with people while you're flying across the map to a different town. I'm not sure if that's where they're going with this, but I'm assuming that.
Well, I think that's actually kind of where they're planning to do it with the shipping lanes. So instead of instantly teleporting from, say, Owl's Head to Novia, you sit on a boat for a minute, and that's essentially your loading scene.
That's a great opportunity to socialize with people and just have fun, and that's awesome.
Oh yeah. So I think that's going to be fun because that also opens it up to guilds, alliances, things like that, taking over those boats,
those shipping lanes. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pay the toll.
Pay the toll. Yes, or you will be harassed. The new NPC conversation system. We need to go find an NPC that will talk to us.
Yeah, I want to see that.
So let's go talk to an NPC somewhere. We just have to find one. Although we can't. Gix Vargach is not an NPC. As much as I wanted to touch him that way.
All over.
Yeah, so let's see.
Come with us, Marshmallow Dragon.
So we will talk to, actually, we're going to talk to Robert right here first. And if you notice, the new conversation system starts off with the different options. So we can say, hello. It doesn't have the option for name. We can ask him if you need... Yeah. We can ask him for help multiple times. And there is actually the arrows that will go back and forth.
Yeah, and there's hello, help, rumors, job.
Yeah, so I didn't know this before, but Robert was actually a guard out in Ardoris, so that's actually good because it opened up a lot more options. So it's not a drop-down list; you just have to go left and right. And
what I just noticed with the conversation window is while you're talking with people, things can also pop in there and populate. Like I just saw Roy Steen came online, so if you're in a conversation window, you're going to see everything else that you would normally see, I guess.
And this new conversation window is going to end up being one where it's not as cumbersome as the old zoom in first person, because you can, although I can't pan my camera around, so I'm looking at the back of your head and those ice wings.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's okay.
Yeah, so I also noticed that they've taken away the underlined keywords.
No, I still have the underlined keywords.
You do? I
do
not.
So click on job real quick. Go find that one. And if you notice in the keywords,
it is underlined.
It does not have guard. So this might be one where it's not fully populated yet.
So when I clicked guard, it added guard to my hotkeys in the bottom, the hot words.
Okay, it did?
Yes. So that's how that works. That's cool. So if I click a Doris, it did not add a Doris.
Yeah, so I don't have like Shogun Saranto, but I do now have Outlander.
No, Lord Protector, Cudgel, a lot of things popped in here. So this is populating as we were having discussions with this guy, and that's cool.
And as you click on them, they get removed. So
if I click Necropolis, it's gone.
Yeah, so
then Ardoris popped in. So yeah, sweet.
So a little bit better than the old system, especially for tracking conversations. You can still go back and repeat the same thing over and over again. The name, job, goodbye, and help are always going to be there. So those are the help, health.
Yeah. Goodbye is pinned.
Yeah, goodbye is pinned, so it's a little easier. And don't forget, you can also always click on escape to get out of that conversation window as well.
I like it.
Yeah, a little bit better than the old system. So, a little bit more interactive, and it should expedite things. And I didn't notice the chat lag that I normally get, but at the same time, it's still early in the day.
Yeah.
Still early in the day, and chat lag might still be a thing, but hopefully not. And hopefully, yes. Good, I got lucky. I did display the right window.
Yeah, and it is. They're right. It is much more immersive to actually have it zoom in on the conversation. That was a good touch.
Yeah. And
what happened?
Let's see. I got to figure out where I'm at. So camera and character placement. If you noticed, I was not able to pan my camera around during that conversation. Hopefully they'll add that. So they are looking in the future to find ways to avoid awkward camera placement. Right now it's kind of a static placement, so you might end up with the back of Thex's head in your way.
Which is so pretty to look at, so it's all good.
It's all beautiful. I mean, especially when it's crusted over with white stuff.
As it always is.
What?
You have not looked. You have not looked at the back of Thex's head. It's completely crusted over. Oh, let's see. You weren't watching.
I'm extra crusty today, Merc.
Yeah, he is.
Yummy.
So the other thing is the ability to pull out a chat window and move it around. That has been delayed. So the only thing you can do now is still move the full window. Eventually,
I'm cool with that. That's not a huge priority.
Well, the UE user interface customability I think should be a little bit higher, because I would love to be able to move my actual health bar to the middle of my screen instead of the far left. I would love to be able to pull out individual characters' health bars, so that way I can always watching it. And as Laz says, he's been waiting for 2 years for movable health bars.
Yeah, I think the UI overall, especially the chat window, kind of needs an overhaul. Splitting out the windows doesn't bother me as much. That's kind of, I probably wouldn't do that anyway. But just kind of update the UI a little bit.
And when I first started playing, I think it was like back in an R28 or R29, they did have the XP bars on the window. I would love to have some kind of mini variation of that somewhere that I could put on my screen.
Right.
Yeah. And then we do have Carrie and Gix playing around with the latest animations and emotes, especially as they mime things like reading books. So, crafting, masterworking. That's funny. Carrie, I didn't know you could read. Yeah. Then crafting, enchanting, and masterworking level will have much greater influence on the outcomes of the item creation. So this is my favorite of all of these. I think everyone GM'd really quickly on a lot of masterworking and crafting abilities, and I think this is where we can finally start to get some specializations going. Yeah, so it's one. I think there needs to be more variety in all of that. So because it's
a start.
Because if you think about the way that a lot of people have actually generalized in, I've got GM tailoring, I've got GM every single skill I can. It's like,
right.
It's there needs to be some sort of segmentation within the crafting community.
Yeah, or maybe have it be where you level up one skill and another skill somewhere else decays. I don't know. That might piss too many people off. But
well, that's one where that's the introduction of skill caps.
Yep.
And deciding what's the maximum number of skills that you can have. I still don't think people should be running around with
84 GMs.
Yeah.
But that's another topic.
Yeah, that's another topic. Additionally, the power at Grandmaster level, you will even have the chance to sometimes add maximum durability back to the item. Additionally, the power of the effect is directly proportional to how many levels of masterworking enchanting have been applied.
So that maximum durability replacement, doesn't that kind of break the whole idea of using the kodos and having items be not permanent, so the economy and crafters can make a living?
Well, I think it just becomes one of the reward choices. Do you want to add 20 durability, or did you want +1 intelligence to the item?
Okay, so it doesn't reset the durability back
No.
This adds a certain amount of durability back.
Yeah. I am not a masterwork enchanter crafter, so I can't answer from experience, because the only thing I craft is teleports and recalls.
Standing on your lot, I know.
Hanging out on my lot, doing nothing all day long. So they are... The funny thing is also, if you pay attention, the higher your skill in masterworking and enchanting, the higher the power of the effect you add.
Which is awesome.
Then it's proportional masterworking and enchanting. The power of the effect added is now directly proportional to how many levels of masterworking enchanting have been applied. To me, that says to the item. So the power of the first effect is much weaker than the sixth effect added.
Yeah, it would have to be to the same item.
And so when you're getting to 6 items added, that's when it's like you might end up... your chance of blowing that item up already is, 70-80% to blow it up?
Yeah, so the reward better be huge.
So the reward is going to be significantly more. So I don't know how massive... We will need someone to blow some stuff up.
We're going to be able to create some epic weapons and armor with that.
Oh, yeah. Weapons and armor enchanting skills. There's two specializations to enchanting, weapons and armor, which we talked about earlier in the alchemy tree.
Yep.
If you are a Grandmaster at Masterworking, you have a chance to add maximum durability back to the item you are working on instead of an effect. So that is specified right there. And if you notice the next one, enchanting durability hardening. Grandmaster enchanters now have the ability to add an enchantment that hardens weapons and armor against durability reduction.
I mean, I've been hardening since R29, and that's great that we can now finally harden officially.
Okay, you can start that hardening process all over again.
Mm-hmm. Getting to the hardening is the best part.
Okay. I thought it was the lubrication of the weapon. And you have to keep that thing well oiled, don't you?
The oiling of the blade, yes.
Yes.
Tip, yes.
The attunement and resistance enchantments. There are now attunement weapons and resistance for chest armors that are available to enchanters where the effects are tied to the gem that are used.
I'd explain that. What does it mean, attunement to the weapons? Because there already
is. So that means that if you're looking for a damage bonus, that's the weapon attunement. Whereas if you want resistances, that's applied to the chest armor. So if you have a socketable weapon or a socketable chest piece, that's where those get to be used. Weapons are attunement, and chest pieces are going to be resistance.
Gotcha.
Laz.
The next one is Laz's favorite.
Laz loves this. That food buffs will now work for the entire duration of the food buff. So if in combat, out of combat, doesn't matter. It works.
Hey, Mark, did you try this already?
Yeah, and I'll say that I wasn't for this. I thought it would be overpowered. It may still be, but it's friggin' awesome. I don't know how much
effects while you're fighting.
Noticeable. Well, see, I'm only level 45. And I'm eating very high level food. So that means that, I'm going into these 3 skull areas, and when I would run, in battle, I would run out of focus, and I would run out of health. I mean, I'm staying in 3 times as long. It's friggin' awesome. It's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
For players, it's awesome.
Yeah. So I think the low-level food, you probably might have lasted like a third as long, but the high-level food is where that bonus really comes in.
Oh yeah, like the dragon stew and everything.
Yeah, don't forget the dragon stew also has a negative effect.
Venison surprise is the best one I've found.
Yep.
I just suck on wolf lamb chops all day long. I got so many devils.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Is it finger looking good?
Oh, it is finger looking good.
Then let's see. Where are we at? Bucket helm was fixed again.
The almighty bucket helm.
The almighty bucket helm can now be masterworked and enchanted. So you can insert your socket into the bucket helm. The ornate aeronaut helmet was renamed to the ornate aviator cap and goggles. Bone armor got a huge bony bonus.
I am interested to see what that is. Does anybody know offhand? Almost complete set, but I didn't have time to check.
I do not have a set of bone armor.
I'll look at it later and report tomorrow.
Yeah, obsidian weapons and armor also have been greatly increased in power as well. They have had their maximum durability raised to match other gear and had their weight reduced. Armor also had its fizzle chance reduced greatly, and damage resistance was increased as well.
Okay.
And
that's just for the bone armor and plate, right?
No, this is the obsidian armor and obsidian weapons I'm talking about.
Oh,
the bone armor is actually treated as light armor, although it's the protection is of plate armor.
Heavy armor.
Yeah, so.
Which would make it really cool to use for us mages.
Oh yeah, I that's where I need to get me a set of bone armor. Obsidian armor also comes with a damage reflection bonus, and obsidian weapons have a high critical damage chance. So, that's the obsidian armor and weapon stuff.
A reflection bonus?
Yeah, I don't know.
So you shoot damage back?
Well, it reflects damage.
Okay.
And weapons can crit.
All right. we'll have to figure out what that means because I'm a little confused.
Hey, I don't own anything that's Obsidian other than stuff that was bought off the add-on store. So
me neither. I can't even find the forge yet. So
oh, I've been there. I can take you down there if I can live.
The Hilt Fortress.
Oh yeah, it's if you know where it is, it's easy to get to.
You can piggyback off me. I'll walk us down there.
If you are crafting your home, they have added glass to all recipes that have windows or some kind of glass component. So, recipe changes. If you have a torch, those things will now burn out.
Which, by the way, Scrota is not happy about.
Why not?
Because he always carries a torch, and he said on Discord that his welcome torch now is going to be worthless.
Yeah, well, that's right.
The funny thing about that welcome torch, if you look at over 20 new recipes, what's the second one there?
A welcome torch.
A welcome torch is now craftable.
It's part of my outfit, though. I don't want to be crafting my outfit.
Yeah.
Now you're just one of the sheeple, man.
I know. It's such a sheeple. Then from there, 20 new recipes were added, including all the potions that were added. The merchant regional diversification and cleanup. They did a major pass through all the merchants in the game to ensure that the merchants matched the shop they were placed in. So if it's supposed to be selling things, they also messed around with inventories in each city and region to reward exploration. They added merchants that were missing and fixed any broken merchants.
That's good because, it seemed like for magic shops and alchemy shops and a lot of shops just carried the magic vendor stuff, so I'm curious to see like if alchemy will carry different things and magic shops will carry different things and kind of make it a little bit more immersive.
That means everybody's going to be shopping the same shops for their reagents. Oh, man. I just want to know who has the cheapest black pearl. That's the only reagent I care about. The cheapest black pearl. Where can I find it?
I wish I could grow it.
A necklace?
Yes. Let's see. So some of the changes that weapon combat armor merchants, they now have smithing recipes since smiths have been removed from many scenes. Why would they do that?
I never got that. I never got how they had armor merchant, weapons merchant, and blacksmiths. Why?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. The farmer market stall merchants, they have been reworked to have regional raw food ingredients along with their seeds if available. For instance, if the farmer sells apples, she also sells apple seeds. Now each merchant now has about 15 to 17 things for sale.
Now, I wonder if cotton is going to be on that list because that's going to be a game changer.
Well, buying cotton seeds?
Buying cotton itself from an NPC.
Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah, and because that completely can mess up the market.
Big time.
Yeah, then city by city, they fixed the market stall textures, blah, 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 blah. We're not going to do city by city unless you want to. Do you want to do? Really. Yeah, not really. But there's a huge detailed list of what all was changed. There are more choices at Grandmaster was delayed. They added more effects this release, but they do not feel yet they have enough to make more choices at Grandmaster meaningful enough. I'm confused by that statement. I think they're trying to figure out the different things they can give to Grandmasters that won't break the game. Well, that's true, yeah, which is a lot of spitballing ideas on how not to break the game, how to make things rewardable, things like that. I
mean, they could even do cool things at a Grandmaster level to make your weapon look different. I mean, they could do things like that, which would be cool.
Yeah. And man, we're going to have to talk about our band leader today. I know he's high as a kite, but a lot of musicians generally are, but they don't just sit there and stop playing and don't do anything.
And just sit there.
Seeing that kicked him off. Is that awesome or what?
Yeah. Somebody wake up Laz.
It's like, it's like, yo,
Check the
band leader,
pulse.
and check the pulse. It's like those drugs must be good. Pretty lights, man. Let's see. Clockwork Dragons, those are back in game, although the scanning on the brass clockwork isn't working correctly. Now, there is something that people should be aware of, and that is a new avatar movement animation.
Wow.
And so if you are running, you're going to be high stepping. So you are lifting your knees while you're running.
Get that core working, folks.
Yeah, so remember that when you are running, you need to lift your knees. And run, Forrest, run. Yes.
6-pack abs. Let's go.
So they purchased some animation reference material to help them improve that. And they have replaced the walk, run, and sprint animations for the male and female avatars with much more polished and lifelike.
Shall I sit back down on the chair?
No. That is just the running animation, not the sitting down.
Okay.
But still, yeah.
There goes Turok prancing for us.
Yes, some people have referred to the running animation as prancing. It does not have enough giddy up for me. Yeah.
Did we get the leap emotion mode, by the way? I didn't even check.
I don't know, but oh crap. Would you look at the time?
I know.
And someone said that I need to leave Laz alone, that he's staring and drooling.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, so we are going to stop there for the day. So we will pick up at the Clockwork Dragon tomorrow. And we will continue that on, but it is time for us to move right along and talk about our calendar. If I can find the thing. Community calendar is hosted on nbnn.info. Just click on the calendar button at the top, and then you will see that VIP ticket sales for SodaCon Austin are still available. If you don't plan on attending SodaCon in October, but you would like the unique item of the cloak, those are still available for a $25 donation. And don't forget, early bird ticket sales are still ongoing through July.
Okay, I'm taking notes here.
Yes. So today at noon, 3, 6, 9, and 12. I'm sorry, 3, 6, and midnight, around the clock, there are two idiots that don't know what they're talking about. Today, the second idiot has been replaced by Thexador because Laz couldn't make it on a show called Lunch with Laz and Jack on WRFB.
RFB,
that
Radio
is
Free Britannia.
That's right. Today at 4 o'clock, we do have on Avatars Radio, Golden Wing Going Country. At 7 p.m., if you're interested in some PvE, you can catch the Phoenix Republic PvE nights. At 7 p.m. on Radio Free Britannia, 70s at 7. At 8 o'clock, DJ Nurse Justin takes over the airwaves for Unmedicated Schizophrenia, Part 2.
With nuts.
With nuts. Yes.
Which is nuts.
No, it's just nuts. No.
Nuts.
Just nuts. Just nuts. At 9 o'clock, if you're interested in some PvP.
Proper PvP penis.
With a proper PvP penis.
That's right. You can join the Gladiator Wars. Gladiator Wars registration starts at 9 o'clock, lasts until 9:50. Don't forget, that is going to be out in Finchfield, which is hosted by Pestilence. Those battles begin promptly at 10. If you're...
The proper PvP penis.
You're killing me, Smalls. Killing me.
Yeah, Laz.
I don't know who's doing that because it's now deleting the comments as it gets abused. So
Laz's brain is just on a repeat.
Yes, Laz's brain is on a repeat as he sits there and drools. Yeah. So it's Sid. It's all Sid.
We call it the Vicodin cloud.
That's right. At 10 o'clock this evening, Avatars Radio does have Ember Rain taking over the airwaves with Temper Tantrum T-Days. Or you can always listen to Laz's dad do The Record Room, where they actually talk about music influences and musical history from 1946 through 74. And it's actually really interesting, some of the things that they actually discuss, because...
Wait, did you say Laz's dad is on that show?
Yes, Laz's dad is actually...
God.
And because Laz's dad is actually a musician.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
so
I want to check that out.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I've listened to a few of those episodes, and since his dad was a musician, and he's actually responsible for writing one of those songs from the 50s that everybody knows, although I can't remember the name of it, but Laz will probably type it in game.
Yeah, he told me too. I don't remember it either.
Yeah. But as soon as you know it, you're like, oh yeah, I remember that song. But so since Laz's dad knew all these guys on a personal level, it changes the interpretation of the music, and it also becomes very insightful as to what they were doing. So check out the Record Room on WRFB.
Awesome.
And that's our community calendar for this Thursday, January 26th in Shroud of the Avatar.
Avatarded.
That's right. Don't be avatarded. Which means it's time for... You can do all the sponsors, can't you? You've got them all memorized?
Yeah, but I'd rather have you do it, because I'm lazy.
Okay. This is the Jack show where Jack talks again, but not in the pirate voice.
Please do the pirate voice.
He asked nicely.
I know. I started laughing. I can't do the pirate voice. Don't forget SodaCon. SodaCon in Austin in October. I believe
Sodaria said do it.
Do it. Do it. Tickets are still available. And SodaCon. Tickets are available on SodaConAustin.org. We also have to thank NBNN is a sponsor of SodaCon, but we do have to thank our actual sponsors for our daily broadcast. Don't forget, NBNN is the only place where you can get the news 5 days a week. For Shroud, yeah, that's right. We have to thank Radio Free Britannia for providing the airwaves. Thank you, Laz. Or if you're looking for an auction house and you're tired of dealing with the forums, you can always go to grimeytraders.com and register your items. And don't forget, there are some things that are pledge rewards are up for sale right now for 99 cents. Bargain. So
fire sale.
Fire sale. If you're looking for in-game cotton, reagents, vegetables, and ale, you do need to check out Auchenshire and Markham Farms. If you don't have the in-game gold to buy it, you can always pay cash by visiting their shop at Shroud Marketplace.
$5.
We also have to thank the Britannian Mining Company for becoming a Patreon of NBNN. And don't forget to check out Black Rock Cove for Market Row. Jacob White, the awesome producer of Soda Map, because it is the best map of the game Shroud of the Avatar. And don't forget, if you need the auto map version, that is called Soda Navigator. And that is available for free as a download at sodamap.com. If you're interested in real life swag related to Shroud of the Avatar, you can always go to relicsbyreal.com. Don't forget to use the promo code NBNN for 10% off all of your swag. And our last sponsor is Shroud Marketplace, the best place to go buy or sell anything Shroud of the Avatar related.
Go there.
That's right. Go there. And don't forget that if you want to open up your own shop, you only need to click on register and click on the vendor registration button. And then you can start adding your items to the store. Each shop is actually a player-run shop that is selling things for real-life cash. So you don't have to worry about things like, hey, PM me for the price, or you know what, if you want to say that you are firm on your price, you don't have to click a button that says make an offer. If you're willing to engage in that, you can always leave that there. And then don't forget, if you are looking for auctions. We also have auctions over at Shroud Marketplace, including the latest auctions, which are going to be for house lots. And currently someone has bid $1 on a Brittany Alley's row lot that is near the entrance. Just how
I'll make it $2.
You'll make it $2. Hopefully that works. It is near the entrance to Brittany Alley's, and that does get a lot of foot traffic in that region. So, oh yeah.
There's no reserve set, huh?
No reserve set that I'm aware of. So, just make sure, pay attention to things that are going on. Don't wait too late, because then the auction disappears. So Shroud Marketplace is the place to go buy or sell anything Shroud of the Avatar related. Check it out. Over 35 different players or vendors on the website. Accounts all the way to services. Yes, and that means it's time for us to thank the most important people around here, and that's you guys out there watching on Twitch, YouTube, or listening on Radio Free Britannia. We couldn't do the show without you guys, and we do it for you guys. So thank you. Thank you. Yay.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Go check out the Iron Maiden Chemo Fund.
Oh yeah, we didn't cover that today.
I really want to thank you.
Oh yeah, we didn't cover Iron Maiden's Chemo Fund today.
Yep. For all you new players here in R38, go check it out on the forums. General discussion, help out a fellow Avatar, battle cancer.
Yeah, and don't forget that there is actually a forum request. First time you enter a scene, wait a couple minutes, and if you would, please go ahead and type in /Z and say, please help your favorite
Iron Maiden.
Yes. So, Thex, you want to tell everybody about that? What you're asking them to say?
Yeah, I'm just asking everybody that supports the cause to go into a new scene and help out and do /Z and say, help a fellow Avatar in need, battle cancer, visit the Iron Maiden Chemo Relief Fund in the Shroud of the Avatar forums, donate $25 or more to get a cloak, something like that. It'll be a lot easier to get everybody, since there's a ton of new players in the game now for R38, probably over the next couple of days. It'll help spread the word a little viral if we could, because I'm only one guy and I can only talk to the nobles. So
yay.
As we walk around, let's do a good thing and get some donations going.
Excellent. And we're almost at the $15,000 stretch goal, only $1,500 short, or $1,400 short. So he will be running around 5 miles in a silly costume. But it is time for us to get out of here, and I want to thank everybody for watching Lunch with Laz and Jack or listening. I am Jack. Laz is away, and our guest host for today is
Thexidor Markham.
Yes. And we are in BNN, so thank you, everybody. We are out of here. Sayonara. Hey,
see ya.
We lived through a show. I can't believe it. And
hey, can somebody check Laz's pulse?
I know. Well, he's playing music again, so it's partially working.
Okay.
Purple haze all in my brain.